What else? Who is this? It's just land. Sack the Percussionist, I think. Try to hit another playable. Return a permanent. Could be Braids here, I suppose. Seems pretty good. Land is fine. Here comes Braids. Down to 9. Get him. We're doing everything we freaking can here. Welcome back, I'm Dr. Ruckus, and today in Ranked Mythic Standard, we're showing off the best sacrifice deck there is. We finally found a good one worth playing. It's not Rakdos, it's Jund. Because we have access to one new card from Foundations which changes everything. It just tips the deck a lot further in the direction you need it to go, and that is Deadly Brew. A black and a green for a sorcery spell. Each player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker of their choice. If you sacrifice a permanent this way, you may return another permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. It's much better than it looks. To help illustrate this, if this was instead Go for the Throat, but Go for the Throat said destroy target creature, and then also get back any permanent from your graveyard and add it to your hand, you'd be like, damn, that's really good for 2 mana. That's roughly what we're looking at here. And the reason is the meta doesn't really go that wide these days. If you think about the decks you're really playing against a lot, and that might give you trouble. You're playing a lot of mono red, you're playing a lot of Boros enchantments, and you're playing a lot of Reanimator stuff. And all those guys have generally tall boards that do not go very wide, right? Boros enchantments, you know, stack one thing to the moon. Reanimator a Valgavoth, Reanimate an Atrax or whatever. They're just a single big creature you have to get rid of. And so this lines up really well against that, especially against Boros Auras, because you don't even have to target them. It goes through Shard Mage's Rescue, because you don't have to target their creature. It goes through the Shelter by Ghost, because you don't have to target their creatures, you don't have to pay the ward costs. Like, if you didn't want to run this card, you're just playing Rakdos, you can run more Go for the Throat, or you can run more Torch's Tower. But eventually Torch's Tower gets outclassed pretty quickly, because they get beyond that 2-3 toughness, and then you're just shit out of luck. And Go for the Throat is an issue too, because if you don't have that 4th land, then you can't play the 2 ward tax on Shelter by Ghosts, and God forbid they draw their second one, then you have to pay 4 ward, and then you just lose. You just lose, because you just can't target it. So this gets around all that stuff. It even gets around your opponent's Valgavoth. If they reanimate the whatever 9 mana Valgavoth where you'd have to sack 3 permanents to target it, this gets around all that. Each player sacks a creature, you have plenty of creatures on your side of the board, and you get back any permanent from your graveyard to your hand. It's so good in our grindy deck. It just does everything and adds a lot of punching power just for a single green card in an otherwise largely Rakdos deck. Other big upgrades. Rakdos last season was the worst deck in Standard, one of the worst 2 decks, for sure. And there are some things structurally that I've changed and I like a lot. I hated playing the Greedy Freebooter. This card just sucks. It's just 1 mana, scry 1, create a treasure just isn't enough. You have to be drawing cards or creating some kind of value. Hexmage also just never impressed me. It's often just a 1 mana 1/1. It just doesn't do enough. And so the 2 cards I'm playing here instead, I'm way more satisfied with today. First off is the Infestation Sage. A 1 mana 1/1. When it dies, create a 1/1 black and green insect token with flying. That's it. That's all it needed to be. This is a huge sack outlet for us. Sack it, create another 1/1, sack that again. Like, just for 1 mana, it does all the things you want in the deck. We have a ton of things we can sacrifice too. Final Vengeance, an incredibly flexible removal spell. Exile any of their creatures, even their 6/6 demons die to this and are exiled. Their Djinns, their Oculus, everything exiled to this. Very good, so you want a lot of sack outlets. Disturbing Mirth, very good draw spell. The first one, you want to sack a creature, but then you can start sacking your own Mirths to it to start manifesting Dread and getting those extra 2/2 creatures to put on pressure. Obviously, Deadly Brew benefits from a sack outlet, though you don't have to have one, but it's nice if you want that extra permanent back. And then Braids again. So this card's fantastic in the sack deck. It's much better than the Greedy Freebooter or the Hexmage. The other card I'm trying out here today, and I really like it, is the Forsaken Miner. It hits almost as hard as the Hexmage. It's a 1 mana 2/2 that cannot block, but whenever you commit a crime, you can just pay 1 and get it back from the graveyard to the battlefield, again, contributing towards this grindy, wide board state scenario. So if you target the opponent with a single or one of the creatures with a Final Vengeance, or Go for the Throat, you can pay additional black mana to get as many of these back from the graveyard to the battlefield as you want. It ends up being good. It's good. Like, again, this ties the deck together. You're continuing to keep creatures on the battlefield. You're getting creatures back from the graveyard. You're getting permanents back from the graveyard. You're drawing cards off the Mirth. You're drawing cards off the Braids. You're doing everything you need to do to keep the pressure on. It's really effective. Seer Slicer Goblin, I've already talked about a lot. It's great in basically any deck that's attacking. We have 12 1-drops, so it's very good here. Generates tons of sack outlets. Have to play 4 Forges, I think. It's one of the only really good answers to control, or Sweepers, or Sunfall. Like, we can get things back from the graveyard, but if you're Sunfall, you basically need the Forge to win. You could almost consider playing Corpses of the Lost, especially since we're running the Skeleton Miner, but I think the Forge is just better. And then for our last kind of card draw pieces, beyond the Mirth and the Deadly Brew, we're running 3 Braids and 1 Alicia. Alicia's a powerhouse. I mean, when you can get her going, like, when she's cooking and you're getting cards back from the graveyard every turn, it feels good for sure. Braids is probably a little bit better in a vacuum since we have so many sack outlets. Just sack one of your creatures, especially if they have none, ping them for 2, draw a card. It's just very good. This is the sack deck in Foundation Standard. It's not Rakdos. It's an uncommon to get Deadly Brew in there. If you have the lands and you're really into sacrifice, this is it. I don't think you're going to get better than this, and I was really happy with it today. If you want to play around with anything else, you can try some cards I have in the sideboard. You could shove a Viper in there if you want, but I think just going wide is really good. So that's all. Enjoy the gameplay. Let's dive right in. On the draw, very good hand. Mono black. Actually, Rakdos. Alright, Fast 9 Miner. Probably go Goblin on 2. Interesting. Atraxa. Alright, so we're looking at that turn 4 reanimation. I guess we'll save the Deadly Brew for that. They take the trade. Get the Goblin pressure down. It's another mutt. They stuck on land, now they hit land. Okay, as soon as next turn we might see some stuff start to go wrong for us. So we could get the Forge down here. It's not like we need more cards for the most part. And we definitely don't want to burn any removal yet. But we want the mutt to be gone. Okay, cut down there, sure. Because we want the Deadly Brew to go off without a hitch. They don't block though. So that's too bad. So do they have a turn 4 reanimator is the question. Like a Zombify. No, they're stuck on land. Oh, that would use up all of our red. I think it's Braids this turn then. Although they have removal open, right? So ideally you double spell here. We could go Miner plus Mirth. Let's see if they use anything before we tap out. It's a cut down there. Still 2 mana open, but that might be all they have. Feels like there's more to come. I think we can try Miner Mirth here. I feel like Braids will just get one shot by like Go for the Throat or something. Let's go to the 1/1. Okay, now we have another removal spell. That can definitely hit Atraxa. Next mutt, they're still looking to hit that land. Day of Judgment, that's not good. Does he play white? He does. Okay, so it could be Rite of the Moth. 4 Rite of the Moth, 4 Zombify. That's a lot of 4-drops though, and Day of Judgment. Dude's asking for a lot here. Could get down the Percussionist before combat. This time. And still play Braids after, as long as we got the black open. Drop to 11, play the Braids. Sack the Mirth, get a 2/2. Enchantment. We don't care as much about killing the mutt because now, it doesn't matter what we do. Because now we have the Final Vengeance to answer Atraxa. Brew's much better against Valgavoth, where you don't want to target it for the sack for your permanents. Alright, there's a Zombify. There's 1 mana open, so they can get a cut down here. If they have it, they don't. There's more Zombify. That's okay. We want to kill the mutt still if we can, because now we're going to need the Deadly Brew, basically. Though they're almost just dead here anyway. I mean, we're definitely starting with Final Vengeance. Sack you? Who's down there? Just land. I think we could probably auto-pay. We're out of black then. That means we're not going to Mirth this turn. No, we got 1 more black in hand. We could do this. That does not kill the artifact creature, sadly. We could sack the Miner, though, to clear the way. That looks like lethal. Maybe it's lethal anyway, but that should about do it, basically. Sack the Miner, which can't attack this turn. They get their last blocker gone. We get back. I mean, we should have lethal here, but we could get back the Percussionist if we really want to. Play you out before combat. We see most of their hand, but they could technically have like another cut down or something. Nice. This deck is good, dude. This deck is what Rakdos is supposed to be. This is the sacrifice deck in Standard. On the draw, it's okay. Could be better. Is it? Or Domain? I don't know. Forge could be very good. Get the Miner down. We'll see how this goes. This will be interesting. Their control forge is fantastic. Yeah, I think they're probably like domain, I guess. Could attack and draw up, I guess, here. Not sure what they're doing. Alright, rope comes out. Deduce. I think we'll take the sack. But our goal really is just to slam the forge if we can. Alicia. It's not bad. So do we slam the forge into a potential counterspell? What is that? Shana. Yeah, I think after that information we do. Make him have it. I don't know if you run counterspells in your Shana deck. It's like very specific. Clue up. So now they need artifact removal, which is generally hard to find. And Alicia can bring back the miner. Final Vengeance for any creatures. And if they do nothing, the forge will just eventually take care of them. Okay. There's a creature we want to get rid of eventually. Braids? Who's better, Braids or, probably Braids Sack the Mirth is the best thing to do here. Black is good. Getting back the miner. I think Braids is better. They could sack the enchantment too if they really wanted to. I think we just want the Manifest Dread. Could even get a cool creature underneath. Might sack the Overlord. That's fine. Okay, they preserve the life total. Yeah, we'll put a 1-drop underneath. Not sure flipping it's helpful at all. Maybe we should have left the other one down there, actually. There's double white if they want a Sunfall. Binding the Forge, I take it. For 1 mana. Okay. So much work. I don't think we Deadly Brew this turn. Alright. You're down. Too bad. Okay. Everyone's down. But we did get to attack here. So we'll play out Alicia. And that's it for the turn. Raid back a miner. That's interesting. I do draw a card, get some life. Probably drop off the Percussionist here. We get back a Mirth as well. I don't think it's a bad turn here. Let's start with that. Let's sack the Percussionist. I think we take the Mirth. They get a 6/6. Alright. Another Forge. I do want that. But maybe we have to just Final Vengeance this thing away first. So we can do that next turn, maybe? We can't do it all. We'll need more black to do it. So we could do this, and then sack the enchantment. Okay, good cards. Final Vengeance. Zap you. Sack the Mirth. We don't have any mana left. Otherwise we can get back some miners here. Face down card could be the Goblin. If we put it in the graveyard, we can get back the Goblin this turn. Otherwise we can get back one of the miners. But it'll be after the trigger anyway. It might be better face down here. We can get back like the 1/1 instead. To 18, we're putting up a fight. We'll get back the Percussionist. We have to play the Forge next turn, ideally. I don't think they have space for counterspells. There are going to be some big bads in here, though. So we'll need more Final Vengeance. Lockdown. That's annoying. Five mana Hauntwoods. We can deal with that. Alright, we definitely want to play the Forge here. And basically we can go Miner. Let's see. We can go Miner on black. And then Final Vengeance. Sack the miner. We could get back a one of these guys. The mechanic goblin. It's interesting. I mean, I kind of think the goblin's better. I think we decline. As good as that'd be. Like, that'd be a pretty great turn. Alright. Keep pushing. Alicia putting in work here. We'll play the goblin after combat. Make him have the next sweeper lined up. Alright. Trigger, trigger. Get one of these miners back. We're doing everything we can. We're doing the thing. We are Jund grinding. It's happening. Sunfall would be sad. Even then, a single targeted spell could get us back 2 more miners. Plus we have the Forge. So I think we're doing everything right here. Binding the Forge, I imagine. Binding Alicia. They don't like that card. It's putting on a lot of pressure. Okay. To combat. Maybe a smite on the goblin? I don't know. Yeah. You got 1 card left, dude. I'm coming for you. Drop to 8. Next goblin. Let's go. We are junding it up. Doing everything we can. Herd migration. It's a lot of blockers. Can we get through it? That won't do it. So now we're stuck. The Forge will do better and better every turn. But no incentive to attack with anything else. We'll keep getting the goblin trigger, which is nice. And one by one, the beast will fall. But for now, that's all we have. Last card in hand might be a land. That we can get in with as well. I think that's it for now still. At some point, we'll turn the corner and get everyone in there. Maybe everyone except for the goblin. They're going to give us the draw here. Sure. Land, not it. That's okay. Keep going wide. They read the goblin. Makes me feel like they have a useful spell in hand. Evasion over Cavius. Do they have a Sunfall in the sideboard? It doesn't kill the Forge, though. So I'm curious what they would want to get. Like an Atraxa next turn could be good for them. Doppelgang. How much mana do they have? Just enough to do it once. They could copy the Lockdown, for example. They do nothing. We hit nothing, which is really bad. I think they want to copy the Lockdown, right? Or they copy... Oh, they copy their Arcavius. I mean, I think we're attacking all here. They have managed to weasel themselves closer to victory. Take 2 trample damage there. Currently, I see 6. Drop to 2. If we had anything in hand, we'd be doing a lot better, but we don't. Okay. So yeah, copy the Arcavius? But how much mana will they have left? Copy the Lockdown's also an option. Yeah, we'll see what they do. I think at least a Lockdown, and maybe they copy the Arcavius. I'm just not sure how much mana they'll have left to do anything else this turn. What else is in the sideboard that's like... Just for 6? Alright, they're pretty confident then. No, they're doing that because they're going to copy Lockdown. They've decided. So I can copy 3 things. So maybe they just copy the, the binding too. They're all tapped out. There's almost nothing we can do here. I guess technically Braids is our best draw, and we sack Braids to herself, and then they don't have a creature. It's kind of all we can do. They don't have the land yet. It's not a Braids, so I think that's game basically. So they can copy Arcavius as many times as they want, get back like herd migration repeatedly basically, and that's roughly game. I don't think anything can get there at this point. Need it to be Braids off the top that turn. We just were a little bit short. Also, this thing can gain life. I mean, we'll see if they make a mistake, but I don't think there's anything we can do past the next herd migration. They're up to 5 now. Yeah, we'll scoop, I think. I think there's no point in continuing on. I think there's basically no point. Good game. On the play with no 1-drop. It's a very sad opening hand. I don't think you mulligan it, but I do think it's sad. We go fast land. We do nothing. Mono black also do nothing. We attempt a goblin. We see if it just dies to cut down. It does. It does die immediately. Not even a single chance to do goblin things. If only we had a 1-drop to go with it. Could be a bit better. Now we do it again. Now we're really sad when they kill this next one. But there's nothing else we can do. End turn. They kill it, I know. Cut down again. Cut down in his prime. So sad. Let's see if they have a creature now. Nope, but they draw an extra card every turn. Must feel nice. That's a creature. And we could mirth it away, which I think we're doing. Before they can react, we need a little bit more gas. Okay. That's not so bad. We can goblin, we can pick off a 4/4 demon this turn. We do a couple different things. Liliana. Probably get rid of the final vengeance. And we'll go goblin mirth this turn. It's a hasty creature. We're bottlenecked on red though. We can't actually do it all here. If we're lucky, we could hit untap red off the mirth. I think we'll try for it. It'd have to be, yeah, pretty lucky. We actually hit it. Doesn't matter who we put here. Hit the untap red. Attacking down Liliana is maybe not that important. We could save the goblin though. For like one more turn. I don't think that's that bad. Alright. Put a little pressure on. And that's it for now. I'm stuck on 3 lands, by the way. Was stuck on 3 lands. That's a card. We have the answer to it. I guess we have to bin the goblin here. That's okay. We're still on the board. We have the removal spell. It's not over yet. Okay, so final vengeance, either the percussionist or the mirth. Maybe the percussionist? It's kind of similar to the mirth. There are a couple cards we can't hit though. Manifest Dread. I think we'll try the percussionist. I mean, technically this is like a dig 2, and we could just hit a creature off of it and flip it. Maybe this is better. Let's do this one. We can auto pay for black, get back a miner. Nice. We could flip either of these. Is there anyone else down there? Yeah, there totally is. Let's just get Alicia, I think. I mean, it's all good pressure. Braids is also very good. Braids draws a card. Alicia gets the goblin. Alicia's like very sweet. Okay, flip you. Attack down Liliana. Now we won't get the goblin trigger this turn, but it's on the board. We have a huge board. If they sweep, I'll be sad, but they might not run it. And probably just be one or two cards in the deck that be Gix's Command or the other sweeper. Okay, Slasher puts on a lot of pressure. Drop to 16, draw a card. That's a fantastic draw for us. We drop off the percussionist here, I suppose. What else? Who is this? It's just land. Sack the percussionist, I think. Try to hit another playable. Return a permanent. Could be Braids here, I suppose. Seems pretty good. Land is fine. Here comes Braids. Down to 9. Get him. We're doing everything we freaking can here. We can drop off the Sage. They could sack the Slasher again. Yeah, I guess that's fine. They sack you. It doesn't come back now. Board's still super wide. We're really doing the Jund thing. That was so much value off of the Deadly Brew. Just really good card. Alright, they have a 6/6, but they're very close to dead. As are we. Duress. Okay. They scoop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Eh? Do they, why? They gained 2 life off of that. They didn't think they could win from there? We have the 1/1 flying blocker, I guess, but, I don't know, right? We can't even attack with Braids if we get the Braids trigger. I don't think we had lethal, right? On the play, looking good. We keep this. We got a 1-drop. We got a goblin on 2. It's all good. Mana Forked. That's a great name. Okay. Get him for 1. Get the goblin going. It'd be Mirth next turn. Well, we could just Braids here. Opponent eats it all. Yeah, let's go ahead and Braids. Herd Migration. Okay. So they could lock down here, which would be sad. But such is life. They don't get the second white source. So either they have it or they're not going to lock down. Nice. Going super wide. It's no lockdown. It's an Overlord. They could Sunfall next turn. We don't really have too many answers to that, other than just going face. Drop to 8. Can drop off a creature. We kind of want to save the Mirth in case they do Sunfall here, because it does generate more creatures. Forge is a good top deck. So I think let's drop off this creature instead of the Mirth, in case they go turn 5 Sunfall. Opponent down to 6. Alright, so there's a sweeper. That's okay. We have the Forge to follow up. And then they need the Binding, which they could have. But we'll do everything we can here. So creatures are all gone. What's the next best thing to do? Probably just slam the Forge and hope they don't have Binding immediately. It's kind of all we got. I think it's basically better than anything else. It's just unfortunate that it does run right into the Binding. But who's to say they just have it all? Down to 5. Let's go. And the Binding is only 1 mana too. Gain some life. Okay. Beanstalk. Question is the last card a Binding or not? Maybe not. Next Forge is pretty sweet. I think you just slam that too. It would be nice if we could hit land, but I think it's Forge all the way here. They let us move to combat, so they don't have Binding yet. This is huge. Okay, that's good for them, gains them some life. But we can pretty easily deal with the Hauntwoods. And we could sack the Mirth and get a 2/2 as well, to keep applying pressure. So none of this is awful. They're running out of time to find double Binding. Beanstalk again, sure. It's a creature, we can deal with that. We hit a land too, which is nice. So we can actually pick this off. Well, we can start with Final Vengeance, I suppose. Do we really want a creature from Deadly Brew? Like, I don't think it's that worth it. I think it's just this. Zap the Mirth, get a creature. We could keep you face down. Sure. Yeah, let's do it. Then we get in there. They're low enough that Sunfall doesn't save them, so I think you really overcommit here. Should basically be fine. Like, they'd need a lot. They would need Sunfall and also, I don't know, double Binding. It's possible. But I'm willing to put on the pressure here. Doppelgang. I did not see that coming. I don't know how that changes the game. They're all tapped out, though. They get 4 blockers. We can probably systematically pick off all these things, right? For the most part. Like, we can Vengeance with the Sage first. What else can we do? We can get back a permanent. Well, do we just have lethal off the trample? I feel like we probably just have lethal off the trample. I mean, it feels like this is an upgrade. Target creature. Lose you. And then probably target creature. Scoop. Yeah, we should be fine off the trample. Mathematically, seems like getting rid of their 2/2s with our 1/1s is a good trade up versus trample. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Because we lose the attacker as well. On the play. Here we go. It's a 1-drop. We don't have double black yet. Tap land. I like it. Let's get that goblin in there. Hit him for one. Making moves. Boros do nothing. I think... Ooh, there's the next black source. I guess Braids is better than Mirth. Drop to 15. Let's try the Braids. We can sack the Sage. Get a 1-1. They could Lightning Strike it immediately. Lightning Helix. Perhaps Boros tokens. We don't know yet. Continuing to go wide. If they temporary lock down, then we're sad. But they don't always run that in the Boros tokens deck. Okay, so now we're just extremely sad. And now we're feeling a little bit better. But that is pretty brutal against us. To 17. Can you answer my artifact? If you can, we'll achieve next level sadness. They could smite it. We'll still attempt to Mirth after combat. I mean, we'll give it a go. We don't really have another way to do this. Could sack you, get back Braids, but we don't have the mana to play at this turn. They might kill this in response. They do. There's nothing we can do about that. We just hope that the Forge can go the distance. They'll also have their own Forge, by the way. Yeah, no duplicate creature. Okay, we try again next turn. If we hit land, we can go Deadly Brew, play Braids after combat, sack the Mirth. They actually have an answer, and they get some 1/1 tokens, damn. They have the next Forge. I mean, we're doing our best. We could need to kill like a Beza. We'll see how this goes. That's interesting too. Well, it's you to start. And a Sage. Game's not over. Not looking great. They took, like, all of our cards very early. But maybe they'll flood out. Who knows? Torch you. You're exiled. Okay. Are they on the aggressive? They are on the aggressive. Could still go land Braids. We don't. But that's not a bad thing either. Still some sick. Could see another Lightning Helix. Would not be surprised. Deadly Brew. They might pick off... No, they don't. Return the Braids. Alicia, that's interesting. Okay. We'll see how that goes. Have to play it next turn. They scoop? Well, surprising. All right. Nice. Good game, Jund. On the draw, it's okay. We got some removal. We got some sack outlets. It's mono black. We don't have any red yet. And we do want the Forge to get in there. Lindy Autista. Mono black, it's a bat. Well, they can't get rid of all of our removal spells, so we'll get whatever it is back. We got nothing better to do next turn anyway. Okay. Yeah, we just go for the throat here. We ideally save the brew to like get something back. So we'll just pop them for 2. See how that goes. Duress. Take the Forge. Didn't have red anyway. It's another bat. We got 3 removal spells. Take whatever you want. Now at some point we can Deadly Brew and get back the Forge. So that's the one they need to take here. Yeah, they do. Okay. I guess let's go for the throat again. If we ever hit red, we can Deadly Brew our way into the Forge, which would be nice. Down to 16. 2-0 past us. It's another Forge. We still have no red and no ability to hit it. Okay, that's not so bad. Okay. Alright. Everything's gone. Very nice. They do nothing. We hit the red. That's huge. Alright, Slasher's a card. So if we wait one more turn, we could Alicia. No, we could Forge and Final Vengeance, I guess. That's what we should do. Yeah, that makes the most sense. Assuming they don't cut it down immediately. Exile you. Alright, Forge is down. Alicia could get back more creatures every turn. Deadly Brew could get back another Forge. Alright, looks like it's Deadly Brew then. No attacks. Probably just get back the Forge. Super sweet card. Down to 17. Liliana doesn't really stop us. We could drop off Deadly Brew. They scoop. Yeah, look at that. Jund value, man. Just grinding away with mono black. On the draw, it's not bad. We'll see if it's just mono red. No. Perhaps Oculus. Okay. I guess Percussionist is okay, as opposed to the Miner. If we're going to sack something soon, Percussionist is a little bit better. Let's do it like this. Get everyone. No stick at all. No Flood Maw. Shred a Course. See what they drop off. Hoping it's a Jin and not an Oculus. It's neither for now. Alright, attack, get the Goblin in there. We have a lot of removal spells lined up. We got some fodder to go. We got some sack. We got some exile. It's not an awful place to be against a very good deck. Tap land. Okay, nothing to reanimate. This is pretty good for us. We could sack the Percussionist here with the Mirth, which I think is okay. No stick at all. So we can't leave open black either way, so we might as well do it like this. I think this is fine. So they bounce the Goblin here. Ah, just the counter. Alright. You got it. No draw for us. That's right. Still got plenty of removal on the way. We are a little tight on black. Might need to tweak the mana base a little bit. To put in more black. There's the Jin with 1 mana open. So it should be good to Final Vengeance, basically. Again, tight on black, but that is what it is. Exile you. We can always pay the 2. Sack you. So we had another black land. That'd be cool. No, can't play that this turn. Chip away. Next Goblin. Load up. It's a lot of pressure. Opponent down to 10. We got one more removal spell, which is pretty good. Prankster. If they tap out to reanimate, then we have a nice brew coming. Is that it? Okay, we could draw up. Any permanents? Yeah, we could get back the red spell too. I think it's just you. Do we throw away someone into the smite? I think so at this point. They scoop. Alright, not bad. Yeah, let's tweak the mana base. We need more black. It can't just be an even split between the 3, I don't think. On the play, looks pretty good to me. Lepithia. I guess we'll start the Sage, just to guarantee that we get the Goblin trigger on 2. If they cut down or whatever, we still get another creature. That's not so bad. What are we doing in Rakdos? Nothing. Are we afraid? We don't have to drop the Goblin immediately. Could go... I don't know, man. We could go Sage and Miner here. I feel like that might have like a torch or a cut down. Something. If we can spare the Goblin, it's better that way. To 17 off the Pain lands. Nothing. Alright. Could be bluffing. Tap land. We'll try again. I feel like they'll feel like they're under too much pressure. Maybe they're like lizards. Do nothing again. You have to imagine they have something. We could drop Braids, because that probably will not die to any removal spell they have. Alright, Braids it is. Drop off the Sage. 15 to 15. We are vastly ahead here. Unless they have the red, the new red sweeper. Should be okay. Sack a creature, make a token, draw a card. Not bad. Chainsaw. 3 damage to braids. We just run it back this turn. Could also get the goblin down here. I think it's fine. They still have 1 mana open though. We didn't see any removal for a while, right? I think they don't have it. Let's try to get the goblin down here. There's still stick though. So I don't really know what they're up to. It could be full control. We're trying the goblin. If this whole time they've been saving Torch Tower just for my goblin, I'm going to be pissed. But I don't think so. Now we get the trigger. They got nothing. They're either full control or they got something weird in hand that's holding priority. Oh, Challenger. They're aggro. It's too late to be aggro, man. Nah? No. I mean, I think we basically just have him here. For the most part. Drop the 12. Painland's putting in work. Inside Out. Manifest Dread. Okay. Scoop. Alright. Good game. Alright, thank you for staying to the end. If you enjoyed today's video, please drop a like, a comment, a subscribe. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.